What's up YouTube, this is Swifty2606 and welcome to today's video. Now today I want to talk about the importance of giving feedback to the developers while the Battlefield Hardline beta is out in its open stage. And to do that, I wanted to go through 15 Hardline improvements that have been made since the last beta. Now in no specific order, number 1. Naming of the Gadget Master class was put to the vote between the developers and such became the Mechanic class. Now this class also includes upgraded SMGs and a sat phone. I actually think that Mechanic fits the class a lot better than Gadget Master class. I think that just sounds a bit too meh, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I definitely think they went with the right decision there in calling it the Mechanic class. Now number 2, the customised screen has had quite a bit of a facelift, making it easier to manage your gear. So what they've done is they've changed a few bits and pieces within there just so you can find things a bit easier, your attachments, etc, and just make it a little bit more easier to navigate and find everything that you've unlocked and things that you might want to attach to your weapons. Again, I think this is obviously a good thing, making it a lot easier to get around the menus and hopefully making it a lot quicker to get around the menus for those times that you are in a bit of a rush. You quickly want to add that laser sight or whatever that you've just unlocked or whatever it may be. Hopefully it's a lot easier to do in a rush now that they've changed it. Number 3, they've added more interactions such as opening doors and radios, etc. Those of you that are playing the open beta right now, you'll probably notice this a lot more. There's so much more interactivity, if that's a real word, in the maps now. One of the radios in the kitchen on Bank Job is one of my favourite. You can turn the radio on and off. I think that's a brilliant move. And like I say, things like doors and that have been added that you can get through that you perhaps couldn't get through before. Number 4, heist and blood money rounds have been made longer. So apparently the rounds were a little bit too short and we weren't getting enough of the action, so they've actually made heist and blood money a little bit longer round time wise, and hopefully not sacrificing some of the experience, so they say, but yep, blood money and heist have been made longer. Number 5, explosions have been nerfed. Now in the first beta they were described as over the top explosions and were a bit too frequent and maybe a bit distracting, so this time they've kind of just toned it down a little bit and made them not as frequent and just not as intrusive. Number 6, after getting feedback from the community, they gave the HUD a tweak as it reported that it looked way too similar to Battlefield 4. Now me personally, I love the way the HUD looks on Battlefield Hardline. I actually find it a little bit easier to read than the Battlefield 4 HUD. I don't know if that's just me, but I can understand exactly what's going on within the game, and at the same time it's not too intrusive. So they've kind of got everything going on the HUD, but it's not sort of in your face and too much going on, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. It does to me anyway, so moving on. Number 7. In the first beta, it was noted that vehicles were being destroyed way too easy. So, what did they do? They listened to the community and they have changed it. That's something that could have been a real downer, because we could just be spraying vehicles for days and not getting anywhere with them. So I'm glad they listened to the community on that one. And I don't think they've nerfed it too much, as it were. I think it's maybe just about right at the moment. Why don't you let me know in the comments down below what you think. Number 8, audio has been buffed. So things like footsteps, rain, etc, little bits and pieces like that have now been made a lot more sensitive. They've done this to try and get you more involved in the game, so it actually feels like you're standing outside in the rain and you can hear the rain hitting on the concrete below you. Again, that's something that's really good. It's designed to sort of get you totally immersed into the game, so I think that's brilliant. Moving on, number 9. Interrogation has been made more useful and less powerful at the same time. I'm not really sure what that means. They've made it more useful but less powerful. Not too sure about that one. Let's move on. Number 10. So movement has had a tweak. In the first beta we got a 10% increase in speed. I'm not sure that I particularly noticed this, but playing the beta last year and playing this one, it still kind of feels just about the same to me. Obviously when the beta came out last year, it was a long time ago. I've been asleep many times since then and forgotten a lot about it, but yes, we've had a 10% increase in speed, but I mean there's no denying that Battlefield Hardline is fast and I love it. Number 11, camera bounce has been adjusted while being suppressed, also in high tension situations. Now this was something that the community, I definitely saw a lot of people were mentioning that the camera bounce is way too much, and when you're being suppressed they've definitely toned that down a bit and it is definitely noticeable. Number 12, self-revive has now been nerfed to only revive you from explosions or roadkills. This one we knew about from quite a while ago, which is quite self-explanatory, and it was definitely needed. So you can't revive yourself once you've been shot to death with a AK-47 or whatever. It is now only from explosions or roadkills. Number 13, visual feedback for things like overhead objections, etc. have been changed to help you find that awkward C flag. So that was it basically. They've changed it so you can, if there was an objective that you couldn't quite see properly or it was hard to see on the map, they've changed the visual feedback. I have definitely noticed this, especially playing heist on Bank Job. It's now, I find it a lot easier to see exactly where that briefcase carrier is, and does make it, in my case, a lot easier to track them down. So the penultimate one, number 14, cars are now the fastest in the industry. So the cars are definitely really fast. I can't say I was really a massive vehicle user in Battlefield 4. I tended just to stick to infantry, running around like a madman and not really worrying about my KD. But again, this is something I could definitely vouch for though, because the cars are very fast in Hardline. Very fun to drive. The handbrake function so you can get them drifting is brilliant fun also. So finally we move on to number 15, our final tweak. And heavy armoured vehicles now have a weak spot at the rear, making it a little bit easier to take them down. I don't know if you knew this or not, but yes, all the heavy armoured vehicles now have that soft spot in the back, so you can take them out a little bit easier. So it's not just a case of the whole vehicle is armoured. You can get that one RPG shot in the back there and do quite substantial damage. So this really is how important it is to give your feedback to the developers of the game, so they can hopefully change things for the better and make the game final release a lot better for everybody in the long run. So if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to leave it a cheeky little thumbs up, and if you've got any comments on any of the 15 points we've brought up there, please do let us know in the comment section below, and we can have a chat about it and see what you think. So thanks a lot for watching everybody, and until next time, goodbye.